welcome to Art and Fashion. I'm here with Guido. How are you?
I'm doing good. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, thanks for coming on the show. So you are a painter. Tell me about your artwork.
I am an abstract expressionist.
Mm-hmm.
I've been painting now coming on 4 years. February will be 4 years. Art, art was found for me in a time of a place in my life where I was at a crossroads. I owned a business, and some personal things were going on in my life, and I found art as therapy actually. And within a few months of painting, I was offered my first gallery show. I had my first show at Ripe Art Gallery in Huntington,
Mm-hmm.
and then since then I've been painting nonstop. I have over 350 paintings done in 4 years, less than 4 years, and I've done 8 shows. I'm currently going. I'm sorry, I'm just.
No, it's all right.
Yeah.
Where are you currently
I-
exhibiting?
Right now, I didn't know if you wanted to do it now.
Yeah.
I'm currently exhibiting at Circus Something Gallery. It's in Bellport, New York.
Mhm.
The show will be running through November 3rd. I met Bar Baker. He's the owner of the gallery a few months back, and he decided to take a chance on my work, and he believes very strongly in my processes and the convictions that my work displays.
Mhm.
When you look at it, the feelings that you get and such. He feels like I have something that can contribute to the art world. So I'm grateful for that opportunity. I'm also going to be in a show coming up this Friday at the Paper Doll Vintage Boutique in
Really?
Sayville. Yeah.
Interesting.
So for me, I'm a 40-year-old man who was very successful in small businesses and being an entrepreneur, and took a chance on the art world. It's not every day you get an opportunity to be able to express yourself in this kind of a fashion, but I was offered the opportunities, and since I've gone on this venture, it's been a nonstop ride of excellent expectations, meeting people in all over the country, all over the world. Facebook, as you know, is a wonderful way to get out there, and it's just, for me, I would have to say the secret to keeping it, to keeping my mind straight as an artist is the gratitude. I am so grateful, that people are even willing to take a minute out of their life to look at some of the work that I'm processing and doing, and the positive reactions that I am getting from the art world. So
You don't have formal training then, correct?
I am self-taught.
Mhm.
If you call watching Bob Ross, as a kid training. Other than that, I have these desires and these passions to find out what's going on inside of myself. And for the first time in my life, I've been able to take what's inside of me and put it out onto canvas or plywood or whatever pieces of material I have to work on, and honestly get a true to life feeling of who I am, and connection of who I am. It's just, it's really a great experience.
And what type of paint do you use? Acrylic?
Mainly mainly
Mhm.
acrylics. I'm fortunate enough to have a really good community where I live in East Patchogue, and over the summer I had a phenomenal experience of doing a few beach installations where I worked for about 3 months on the beach, actually painting. Came up with over 40 pieces of work, and I had them displayed in the area of the beach. It brought great unity around from the community, and what happened was, after a while, I would wake up in the morning and go outside, and I would have supplies just left in my driveway,
Cool.
whether it be doors or windows or paints, or so now
And you
that
ended up selling a bunch of those paintings, correct?
yes, I did. like I said, I'm working with the Circus Something Gallery, and Bob Baker, has a really strong feeling about where I'm going with my art in the future. So he took a chance, and he purchased a bunch of my paintings from me to
Right on the
display.
beach?
Yeah, right on the beach, and it's truly an honor. Without sounding like a kid, I feel like a kid. And I feel like that's important. Always trying to remember what it's like to be a child, whether it's the smell of coloring books or crayons, or seeing a rerun of Romper Room, anything that can bring me back to that childhood feeling is where I like to begin a painting.
All right. Well, we're going to take a quick break, and when we return, we'll talk a little bit more about what inspires you and the content of your work. All right, welcome back. So where can we see your work? Do you have a Facebook or an Instagram?
Yeah, I have both those. My Facebook is my name, Dan Guido. You can reach me on there. Also, my Instagram is SlamoDPG on Instagram. My email address is danpg1975@gmail.com.
Okay, great. And do you do commissions?
I would do anything that's needed of me. I've done the last 6 months, been working on commissions. I've been doing signs for businesses locally in East Patchogue. I'm working on applying for some grants, and I'm working with local town councilmen about getting me funded to possibly do some kind of murals in hospitals or sick wards for kids and stuff like that. So I have a bunch of stuff going on within the communities. My ultimate goal, I would have to say though, I would like to be, when it's all said and done, I would like to have my hand in many facets of the art world. So many things jump out to me. I would really love to try my hand in doing backdrops for plays and things like that. I love to work big. I do murals constantly in my house, around my house, all over the walls. Any walls I'm permitted to paint on without getting in trouble, I find myself drawn to get bigger and bigger, and size-wise, not stature.
Now, you said over 4 years you did over 350 paintings. How long does it take you to do a painting?
Depending on what I'm painting for. If it is a commission, I generally like to take my time a little bit more. It is difficult because I do work very fast. I try to capture something almost in the blink of an eye, and then I'll go back to it and work it and kind of form it into something that's more viewable. But I do enjoy the unexpectations of picking up the materials, and whatever music's on or whatever I read last is inside of me, and I'm letting that out. I'm exploring. If it's an artist I'm studying, if it's a musician I'm studying, whatever it is, I try to feel them and try to feel the way they were inspired to create whatever they were creating, working on. So that's kind of how I work.
All right, great. Any words of wisdom for young artists or any artists looking to get started and just produce work?
I would have to say, just don't care what anybody says. If you have a dream, if you have something that you believe in deep down inside of you, don't let anybody try to take it away from you. Don't let anybody discourage you. Don't worry about looking foolish, because the best ones look the most foolish. So just go for it. That's basically what I like to tell people.
Without taking a risk, you're not going to win.
You're not going to win, absolutely.
Yeah. All right, well, thank you so much for coming on the show today, and I look forward to having your work in our show and as well as seeing it in other shows. So thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
All right, and thanks for tuning in to The Daily Blue.